If I told you that 3 simple words could shift your entire financial atmosphere, would you laugh, lean in, or pretend you've already got it all figured out? Most people laugh first, then lean in. But you're here because something deep inside knows you're standing on the edge of a breakthrough. You can feel it. Maybe you can't explain it yet, but something has been tapping on the walls of your life, saying, hey, things are supposed to get better now. Let's be honest, you didn't stumble on this message by accident. You arrived because you've been wrestling with an invisible feeling, knowing you were meant for more, but somehow watching life hand you the same tired script over and over. And it gets exhausting, doesn't it? You start to wonder if you're missing some secret memo the universe sent out while you were taking a nap. You've probably tried the affirmations, the visualizations, the budgeting, the hustling, the keep your vibes high routines, and even the let me try this one weird trick the internet swears works. And yet, the big shift, the life-changing, bank-shaking, destiny-unlocking quantum leap you crave, still feels like it's stuck behind some cosmic paywall. But here's the twist, you're not blocked. You're the hidden block making you repel abundance not cursed. You're not invisible to the universe. You're simply operating with an outdated set of instructions. You've been trying to summon abundance using the equivalent of a floppy disk in a world that runs on cloud storage. That's the real frustration, not failure, but outdated programming. And that's why these 3 words matter. Not because they are magic, but because they snap your inner world into alignment faster than any checklist or vision board can. These words reorganize your thoughts, your intentions, and your energy the way a conductor brings a chaotic orchestra into perfect harmony. But hold on, before we get there, let's talk about why you even need this alignment in the first place. Because if I hand you the words without the understanding, you'll treat them like a lucky charm instead of the spiritual ignition switch they truly are. Your biggest challenge right now isn't money. Let's be real. People have manifested money, lost money, regained money, wasted money, saved money, and blown money for thousands of years. Money is never the core struggle. The real issue is the inner story you keep repeating quietly, subtly, often without realizing it. You want $800 million, but there's a quieter voice whispering, but can I handle it? Would life change too much? Will people treat me differently? What if I fail with it? What if I succeed and can't maintain it? What if this is too big for me? That whisper is the thing slowing down your blessings like a traffic jam during rush hour. The universe doesn't resist you. It responds to you, and right now, it's been responding to those whispered doubts more loudly than your spoken desires. Let me give you a simple framework because I want you to see this clearly. Think of your mind as a radio. Why most people never manifest big money, every thought, emotion, and belief is a frequency. When you say you want abundance but broadcast fear, you create static. When you say you're ready but internally rehearse catastrophe, you distort the signal. When you try to speak wealth but think lack, you tune into the wrong channel. The universe delivers what you broadcast, not what you wish. So those 3 words I'll teach you, they aren't about tricking the universe. They're about tuning yourself to the frequency where $800 million is already normal, already flowing, already on the way. Because that amount of wealth doesn't respond to panic or desperation. It responds to certainty. Now, let's break down the real issue in ordinary human language. Most people try to manifest abundance with hope, but they never shift into expectation. Hope says, I wish it would happen. Expectation says it's already happening, and I'm simply preparing for its arrival. Hope waits. Expectation commands. You're here to shift from hope into command. Now, let's talk about your struggle for a second, because you deserve validation. You're not crazy for wanting something big. You're not unrealistic. You're not asking for too much. And honestly, you're not the only one who feels guilty for wanting more. Society has spent decades training people to shrink their desires down. Like folding a blank, it's so small, it can fit in a matchbox. You've been told, be humble, don't ask for too much, don't be greedy, just settle. But there's nothing humble about denying your spiritual inheritance. There's nothing greedy about wanting resources to elevate your life, your family, your community. Money in the hands of a conscious, driven, spiritually aligned person isn't dangerous. It's transformative, and you know that. That's why you're still listening. So, how do these 3 words actually work? Let's lay the foundation before I reveal them. They work because they dissolve resistance. They flip your mental switch from scarcity to readiness. They override the old script that says wealth is rare or difficult or reserved for the chosen few. These 3 words pull you out of begging mode and place you in creator mode. Not because the words themselves are magical, but because they awaken the truth you've forgotten. Here's the truth. Abundance is natural. Lack is the glitch. When the spiritual logic behind receiving tree grows, it doesn't limit itself. When water flows, it doesn't apologize. When the sun rises, it doesn't ask permission. Creation is generous by design, and you were crafted with the same blueprint. But over the years, life, school, society, disappointments, losses, layers over that truth until you start thinking small is safe. But small is not safe. Small is suffocating. You weren't designed to squeeze yourself into just enough. Your soul came here to expand. Desire is not greed. Desire is the compass that leads you back to your divine path. So those 3 words, they're not just a phrase, they are the spark that reminds your entire being. I was born for more and I claim it. Before I give you steps for using them, I want to walk you through one more insight, not philosophical, not mystical, but practical. Humans work in patterns. Your subconscious loves routines. It loves repetition. It loves anything familiar, even if familiar is miserable. So when you try to jump from your current reality to $800 million, your subconscious throws a tantrum, not because it's against you, but because it doesn't recognize the new identity yet. These 3 words bypass that tantrum. They speak directly to the part of you that already knows how powerful you are, the part that doesn't fear wealth, the part that expects miracles as casually as breathing, the part that remembers your spiritual DNA. All right, let's bring this into action. Here are the 3 exact words, revealed steps you're going to follow once you learn the 3 words. Step 1, pause, don't rush. Don't try to make something happen. You're not here to force anything. You're here to align. Before you say the words, take one slow breath like you're inhaling confidence and exhaling old stories. Step 2, say the words out loud, not in a whisper, not in a mumble. Say them with the tone of someone placing an order they expect to be delivered. The universe is not moved by fear. It is moved by clarity. Step 3, feel them. This is the part most people skip. They say the words while thinking, let's see if this works. That energy cancels the request. When you speak these words, imagine that the shift is already happening, even if you can't see anything yet. Step 4, move like someone who is becoming wealthy. That doesn't mean spending recklessly. It means making decisions from confidence instead of fear. It means choosing opportunities instead of avoiding them. It means acting like someone who expects life to open for them. Step 5, don't chase. Let the words begin the work internally and allow the external world to rearrange itself. You don't plant a seed and then dig it up every day to check the roots. That slows everything down. Now listen, I know talking about summoning $800 million sounds bizarre to some people, but you have to understand something. The size of the number doesn't intimidate the universe. Humans get overwhelmed. The universe does not. If you can summon $8, you can summon $800 million. The only thing that changes is your mental posture. Here's the funny part. Once you align energetically, the money doesn't even feel big anymore. It starts to feel normal, expected, natural. That's when abundance accelerates. You're not manifesting money, you're manifesting alignment. Money is the side effect, so let's get to it. The 3 words your spiritual command, your alignment activation, your wealth ignition are simple, direct, and powerful. I receive now those 3 words. That's it. They bypass effort. They bypass fear. They bypass logic's endless overthinking. They place you in the posture of someone who is no longer waiting, no longer asking, no longer rehearsing lack. I receive now, not later, not when things get better, not how these words rewire your subconscious when I get lucky, not when the stars align. Now, these words work because they erase the gap between desire and fulfillment. They pull the manifestation from the realm of possibility into the realm of certainty. Every time you say them, you shift from hoping to claiming. Speak them, feel them, allow them, and in the next moment, I'll show you exactly how to use them to summon not just any blessing, but the colossal, life-altering abundance you're calling in, including that $800 million. Now that you know the 3 words, let's take this deeper, because knowing the words is one thing, but knowing how to make them reshape your entire reality is another. Most people learn a technique and then use it like they're trying to microwave a miracle. Press a button, wait 30 seconds, and hope something pops out. That's not how your spiritual power works. You don't command the universe with impatience. You command it with identity. When you say, I receive, now you're not making a request. You're stepping into a role. You're declaring yourself the kind of person blessings belong to. And this is where the real shift begins, not with the words, but with the version of you who speaks them. Let's address something you've probably wrestled with. You've been trained your whole life to earn blessings, not receive them. Society hands out gold stars for effort, not alignment. You're told that breakthrough comes from grinding harder, waking up earlier, staying up later, sacrificing, struggling, proving yourself. Meanwhile, your spirit is over here whispering, there's an easier way if you'd stop insisting everything must be difficult. When you say, I receive now, you are rejecting the lie that you must suffer first before you succeed. You are rejecting the idea that wealth requires misery. You are rejecting the false belief that blessings only come when you've done enough to deserve them. Deserve, please. You deserve abundance because you exist. You deserve wealth because you are a vessel of creation. You deserve overflow because lack was never part of your original wiring. Think about the times you tried to manifest something big but felt a weird the mindset needed for $800,000,000,000 resistance around it. You thought it was doubt, fear, or maybe some kind of spiritual interference. But most of the time it was this. You didn't feel like someone who could receive the thing you asked for. You felt like someone who needed to earn it. And when you believe you must earn abundance, you push it away every time it tries to arrive early. But something shifts when you say, I receive now. You open the door. You stop guarding the blessing like it's an uninvited guest. You stop telling miracles to wait in the hallway until you feel worthy enough to let them in. Worthiness is not something you achieve. It's something you remember. Let me give you a practical example so this lands clearly. Imagine someone knocking on your door with a giant gift. If you spend 5 hours cleaning the house, hiding your laundry, scrubbing the floor, rehearsing a smile, and preparing excuses, gift waits outside. But if you just open the door, you receive. It was always that simple. But your mind complicates things because humans love complexity. It makes us feel like we're doing something. But the universe prefers simplicity, alignment, clarity, intention. That's it. No drama, no ritual, no 12-step mystical process involving crystals, moonlight, chanting, and burning sage while spinning counterclockwise. Blessings don't need choreography, they need permission. That's why I receive now works. It's permission. Now, let's talk about the amount $800 million, because some people will gasp, clutch their imaginary pearls, and say, that's too much. But wealth has no emotional reaction. Wealth doesn't blush. Wealth doesn't tremble. Wealth doesn't say, oh, no, that's too big. For me, wealth simply responds to the container it's given. Your life expands to the size of your expectation. If you expect small, you receive small. If you expect moderately, you receive moderately. If you expect massively, you receive massively. The universe is infinitely abundant. It doesn't panic when you request something big. It only asks, do you actually expect what you're calling in? And this is where the true magic of I Receive Now comes in. It moves you from a person who wants wealth to a person who expects wealth. Wanting is distant. Expecting is immediate. Wanting looks ahead. Expecting stands in the how to use the phrase correctly throughout the day present moment. Wanting says one day. Expecting says today is the beginning. Let me show you how to apply this. Because application is the part most people skip. Inspiration without action is just spiritual entertainment. So here's how you make the shift real in your daily life. First, speak the words every morning before your feet touch the ground. The moment you wake up, your mind is in a brief window where the subconscious is wide open. That's the perfect moment to place your order with the universe. Don't reach for your phone. Don't scroll. Don't instantly think about yesterday's problems. Just breathe once and say, I receive now. Say it like someone who knows the day is already loaded with blessings. Say it like someone who expects the universe to cooperate, not eventually, but immediately. Next, throughout the day, use the words whenever your old programming tries to sneak back in. If you catch yourself worrying about bills, whisper, I receive now. If you feel doubt trying to ruin your moment, declare, I receive now. If your mind starts writing tragic fiction about your future, like it's auditioning for a dramatic TV show, take the pen back with, I receive now. These words interrupt the sabotage. They break the loop. They pull you back to alignment. Then I want you to practice gratitude, not the forced, artificial. Let me list 5 things because I saw it on TikTok kind of gratitude. I'm talking about natural gratitude, the kind that makes you smile because you realize abundance has been showing up in small ways all along. Gratitude expands whatever it touches. When you're grateful for what you already have, you create space for more. Next, move in the direction of your goals. Even if it's one tiny action a day, money flows to movement, not stagnation. You don't have to take giant leaps. Sometimes the smallest action is enough to signal that you're ready. Read something that expands your thinking. Simple steps to align with massive abundance. Learn a new strategy. Work on a dream you've been procrastinating. Organize your finances. Declutter your environment. Every little shift is a message to the universe. I'm preparing for the abundance I've declared. Also, stop entertaining conversations and environments that shrink you. If someone constantly pours fear into your dreams, walk away. Not dramatically, just quietly outgrow them. You don't need permission to expand, and you certainly don't need to explain your vision to people who are committed to misunderstanding it. Protect your energy the way you protect your phone battery. When power is low, you turn off the things draining it. Now, let's talk about something many people also struggle with, receiving. Not the word this time, the act. Receiving is uncomfortable for some people. They're so used to giving, fixing, solving, helping, supporting that when life tries to pour into them, they resist. They say things like, you didn't have to do that. Or, are you sure? Or let me do something in return. And while that sounds humble, it actually blocks abundance. Because if you resist small blessings, you'll definitely resist massive ones. Practice receiving compliments, help, opportunities, support, gifts, praise. Say thank you without shrinking. Every time you receive with grace, you widen your capacity for more. Let's bring this to a practical framework you can remember easily. Imagine abundance as a flowing, real-world application and daily practice river. You are standing with a cup. The size of your cup is determined by your beliefs. When you say, I receive, now the cup expands. But if you stand arguing with the river, is this real? Is this safe? Is this too much? Am I worthy? You spill everything. Your job is not to control the river. Your job is to carry a bigger cup. Now, because this is a self-improvement journey and not just a spiritual one, Let's talk about the mindset of someone who expects $800 million. That kind of wealth doesn't come to people who think small. It comes to people who take responsibility for their vibration, their thoughts, their decisions, and their environment. Think about this. $800 million requires an identity upgrade. Not overnight, not pressured, just intentional. Ask yourself, how would the wealthiest, most aligned version of me think right now? Then think that way, even if it feels awkward at first. Breakthrough always feels awkward in the beginning. Growth never fits comfortably at the start. But the moment your mind shifts, your reality starts rearranging itself. And this leads us to one of the most important pieces. Stop trying to figure out how the wealth will come. The how is none of your business. The how is the universe's playground. The moment you demand a logical explanation, you limit the blessing to what your current mind can comprehend. But the universe works through channels you haven't even imagined yet. Divine timing, unexpected opportunities. New ideas, new connections, sudden inspiration, chance sealing the declaration into your spirit encounters, open doors you didn't know existed. Your job is the what, the universe handles the how. And let me tell you something with absolute confidence. The moment you start living like someone who expects overflow, overflow starts arranging itself around you. People mistake miracles for coincidences. They mistake alignment for luck. They mistake divine orchestration for chance, but nothing is random. Everything responds to your inner declaration. So as we come to the close of this message, I want you to say those 3 words again, not because it's a ritual, but because repetition is how you seal truth into your spirit. I receive now. Let it echo inside you. Let it settle in your chest. Let it warm you from the inside out. Feel the shift. Feel the opening. Feel the readiness rising in you like morning light breaking through a foggy window. Your $800 million is not fantasy. It's a frequency, and you've just tuned into it. Walk forward expecting signs, expecting opportunities, expecting breakthroughs. Speak the words and let your life stretch to meet them. Now, take one small action today. Just one. Comment, engage, share your intention. Write your final call to action and wealth activation declaration. Repeat the words or start the tiniest step toward your financial expansion. The moment you move, the universe moves with you. And when you align yourself with abundance, abundance has no choice but to find you. Your blessings are not delayed. They are activated, and they begin now.